Happy weekend, guys. Happy Saturday. We're making it through. Awesome. I hope you guys have had a fabulous week. It's been probably over a week anyway since I got a video out, so I wanted to get something out for you guys. This is a deck that many of you guys have seen on the wall. I've got quite a few questions about it. I know other guys that have seen, when they've seen videos or, even just pics or whatever on the Facebook pages, they've asked me about this deck. This is one of the more sought after Mike V decks. And so this is the Powell Classic from 2007. And so there it says again, notice just how it doesn't have that Powell-Peralta, it's just Powell. And it's the same thing here on the top there saying, Powell Skateboards. Also notice that just says limited on there, right? And so this is a limited edition, 7-ply with the ripper on there. Sorry, when I pulled off the grip, this is a used deck. There's a little bit of residue on there. I didn't want to work too hard on it. I wanted to get off as much as I could, but it also, I was concerned it was going to start pulling off the graphic, which in a couple places it looks like it came off of it. So I didn't want to pull that off too much. So cleaned it up as much as I could, but stoked to get my hands on this one. So I'm going to actually try to find a pic when I bought it, or the ad that showed the grip tape that was on it, and it also came with longboard trucks and wheels. So long story short, ended up selling those longboard trucks and wheels. So I picked up the complete for 90 bucks on a site called Craigslist when we were out in BC. Craigslist is like the buy-sell site you go to. In Ontario, we use Kijiji. When we were in BC, Kijiji didn't even exist. When we're in Ontario, Craigslist doesn't really exist. I mean, there is Craigslist Toronto and stuff, but it's garbage. So in BC, yeah, West Coast, you use Craigslist, and managed to come across this one. So worked the deal, 90 bucks, had some longboard trucks and wheels on it. And I'll tell you guys, it bombed. Like with those longboard trucks and wheels, they were Orango, Tango, Mango, something, or blah, blah, blah. But man, those wheels were amazing and they bombed. I just could not keep them on there because I want to throw some Indy 169s on here and some, OG type wheels, right? So it just didn't feel like it was proper. So anyway, sold the trucks and wheels and bearings and paid for this. So I think I got 110 bucks from the trucks, wheels and bearings. And the deck only cost me 90, so I get the deck for free and made 20 bucks. That's how you do it. All right, so let's get into the specs on this one. The specs on this deck are a little bit different than the specs on the most recent releases that have been dropping, like the red, the navy blue, and then there's going to be actually a green one coming out similar to this, but it's not similar. This one is more lime. This one has natty edges. This one is screened, so it's not a screen to transfer, and then the transfer hole applied over top of it. This one is actually screened. Yeah, so this is the 2007 limited edition Powell Classic. Again, Powell skateboards. During that time where Stacy and George weren't really connecting, they connected again a few years after, and obviously we got all of these boards now. But this is when George was still pushing out the decks, and yeah, pushed out this wicked, beautiful, limited edition Mike V. And so again, if you guys want to see Mike V, and maybe I'll tag that in one of the videos at the end, but you can go to public domain from 1988 and just watching that dude do what he does. He kills the streets. He's so creative. And I think that's, his whole goal, even with his new company, Street Plant. Just that skate, create, enjoy type thing. That's what he's all about, is just going out there, using the skateboard as the brush and the world as the canvas. Yeah, canvas. There you go. Anywho, that's what he's all about. All right, so let's dive into some of these specs here. So again, these specs are a little bit different than some of the more recent ones coming out. Part of that is because, let's just show you this now. But this is the new school hole pattern. All right, and if you guys go back to, I think the other Mike V video that I did with the red, recently released one, and I think the navy as well, they're old school hole patterns. So this is the new school hole pattern. I think the concave that typically is on the other ones too are SP3s, and for whatever reason, this one is an SP2. So I don't know. I'm taking it. I actually managed to find this this actual board on an archive on Skate 1, which I was pretty blown away by because I've looked for it forever, couldn't find it. Came across it today, thankfully, and got the specs here. So I'm going to follow the specs on the Skate 1 site specifically for this board. So if it's wrong, don't blame me, blame Skate 1. So what they're saying is the deck shape here, which has kind of a cool little unique shape to it, is the 163. It's saying the deck bottom here is screened, which I assumed it was, but I'm glad for the clarification here. And again, just as a reminder, the screening is just that process where they're actually putting the application right onto the deck. So they're putting the paint on in different layers right onto the deck, screening it on. And then the other process, which we see in the majority of these boards, and it's easy to tell because you don't see the truck holes, because they screen onto a heat transfer and then apply that heat transfer on the whole board. So it's almost like they're just putting a huge sticker on covering up the whole board. And that's why you don't see the truck holes sometimes. You can easily pop that out. It's just confetti that it really resembles. But anyways, this one is screened, which is really rad. All right, so the deck concave, which again, we're looking at this deck, guys, it is super flat, but this is where I'm at home. And this is probably where the majority of you guys watching these videos are at home, because I don't know about you, but when I've skated, you know, like an 8.5 or smaller in the pops, and they've got some pretty heavy concave to them, my feet just feel like they cramp. So it's probably one of those things that you get used to it and, you know, it becomes easier. It's a better tool. But in reality, for what I'm doing right now, this just feels like home to me. Like you put your feet on there, it's not cramping, it's just doing what it's supposed to do. And so I actually love these concaves, or lack of concave. Yeah, so not a lot. There's the down the nose. So again, this is the SP2 concave. The deck wheelbase on this, so we're measuring in between the trucks here, is 15 inches. The deck length is 30.25 inches. The width is 10 inches. The deck nose, and so from the truck hole to the tip of the nose here, is 4.375 inches. The deck tail is 6.625 inches. And so let me get just this again. I showed you guys already, but let's just verify these. Yeah, the truck holes there are the new truck hole pattern. So it's easy, just go, you can grab trucks anywhere, get them and throw them on. But anyways, guys, yeah, just wanted to give you guys a boo of this one because, again, it's just such a rad deck. I ended up getting rid of the other red Mike V that I had. I actually got that one a couple times, but ended up getting rid of that one because I've had this one around. And it's just a super rad deck. And so I'll be keeping it. Just wanted to give you guys a quick boo of it, though. Another good look here. Here we go, top to bottom. Check out bottom to top. And again, this Powell Classic. It's not that Powell-Peralta branding that you see on the majority of decks. Definitely all the decks we're seeing now. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers. Bye.